What's up? John Lavido here with another vlog, video log. It's been a week and a lot has happened actually, or maybe 2 weeks. Back in Thailand, I think I said that last time, but today what I want to share, you've probably noticed if you've been watching these videos in the series, so I make music, obviously DJ, produce, making, a variety of trap and EDM, things like that, and this is me sharing the journey. But what I've actually found, if you've been watching these videos, what you might have found is that I keep speaking about all this shit about the mind. I keep saying, can you imagine the voice inside your head? Can you hear that voice inside your head? And can you realize, I won't get into it too much right now, but basically I keep talking about all this stuff. And maybe it seems a bit weird, I don't know. But I do really enjoy talking about it. It gives me a lot of energy. And I love helping people have realizations with some of that material. So what I've decided to do is for the business, the money side of things, I've actually decided to get into spiritual coaching. So I'm going to take some of the ideas I've been sharing in these videos and actually coach people on how to implement them and how to use them to get more out of life, which I'm really pumped about. Now, what this gets interesting is this giving me a whole new perspective on what I can use the music for, because music, if you think about it, is a spiritual thing, isn't it? When we go to a festival or a club or things like that, we're often trying to get out of our mind and into our body. That's why we dance, right? We want to get out of our mind and into some other place, right? And so for a lot of people, that's the only time when they're listening to music, when they're dancing, sometimes when they're on drugs and getting high with music. Sometimes that's the only time that they feel a sense of peace or serenity or joy or happiness, and which is great, by the way. I think that's wonderful. I think that's what music is for. I think it's amazing that we have music and that people are making it, and there's so much of it around today. But if I was to take what I love about this spiritual coaching thing or the aspects of spirituality and find a way to use that with the music, I could see myself going to like a festival, for example, and sharing a message where it's like this love, this joy, these good positive feelings that you feel right now at the festival. You're in the crowd, partying, dancing, whatever, like these feelings, this doesn't have to end at the end of the festival. And right now, we got, you might have 100,000 people there. You got 100,000 people there. They're all going to go home to their families, to their schools, to their jobs. And they're going to take all of that positive emotion, positive energy and motion that they have generated, while dancing and engaging with their friends and engaging with the music. That's a real thing. I don't think that's just a fluffy thing. Like that exists. That's why it's animating them. And it's putting smiles on their faces and making people hug each other and all this sort of stuff. That energy, again, we'll call it energy in motion or emotion, they're going to take that with them back to, like I said, their families, their schools, their jobs, their everything. And that's going to rub off on the people around them, right? Because it's sort of like this sort of stuff is contagious. So if they go back with a message of, if they just, not even with a message, if they just go back and they're rating it as sort of a love and a joy and a peace, people pick up on that. And so I think that this made me think about music differently, where music really, depending on how you use it, right? But what music can be is blowing my mind right now. But music can be a vehicle for changing the world, right? And that's just the sound. Like what I'm thinking is like the spiritual coaching stuff. This stuff with like learning to hear your voice and connect with your soul, which I think is what people are doing at music festivals. What I can see myself doing in a little while, I've got some stuff I've got to take care of first. We set up this coaching program and everything. But to take the same ideas and use music and lyrics and the sounds and everything, the whole experience of music to trigger spiritual breakthroughs for people at these at a festival or at a nightclub. That might sound ridiculous, but I think that's it. I think that's where where all this is going. I keep talking about all this shit, so like why not make it about that whole thing of like being. Connecting, and I'll expand more on what this means later, but connecting with basically what only really we can only really call your soul. And I got plenty of ideas for how we can do that with music, both at festivals and in clubs and everything. And ultimately, what this is all about is using music to raise the energy levels of people on the planet. To go from sort of, apathy and maybe thinking the world's kind of negative and it's kind of getting kind of shit or whatever, like negativity basically, raising that to positive levels of things like joy and happiness, like these higher emotional states. Because if you can do that on a global scale, on a mass scale, that creates real change around the whole world. And it drives a sort of, it almost like pushes consciousness to evolve. I don't know how else to put it. I realized how much of a hippie or whatever you want to call it. Like 3 years ago, if I heard myself talking like this, I would have thought I was crazy. But I've just had a few experiences recently that have made me kind of go, this shit, like, this is real. There is something going on here, and I think it's just a shame that most people don't get to experience it. So I want to help people have that experience, right? They can do it with drugs, you can do it with music. I want to teach people how to do it without any of that. You can use that as the trigger, but let's find out together how we can take that experience, that transcendent experience that music gives us, and imagine if you could expand that experience into all of your life. So everything, made you feel like that, right? That's the challenge. That's what I'm going to work on, and that's what I'm going to do with the spiritual coaching, and when the time's right, I'm going to do it with the music too. So stay tuned for that.